Hello everyone, welcome back to the last session of one-day workshop on English for job aspirants. This session is about resume building, and resume is nothing but your presentation. You present yourself on the document, whatever skill you possess, whatever the qualities you have, whatever your qualification that you mention on your paper. That paper stands for you. That is nothing but your representation somewhere. So when you go for any job, first what you do is you send your resume to the employer through mail or through any other medium, and then what you do is your resume is observed, your skills are read, and when your resume is error free and you have presented it in well manner, then only you get a chance to appear for next process of the recruitment. Now sometimes what happens, my dear friends, this is quite difficult to understand the details of resume. What are the do's and don'ts? What is resume? What is exactly CV, biodata? We shall have thorough discussion on all these three aspects: biodata, CV and resume. Particularly we'll focus on resume building and what are the details of resume building. We'll not go in detail with the CV. We shall have thorough understanding between CV and resume. We will have comparison between these two. What is the difference between these two? Are among these three documents of our life. These are important documents of our life because they are nothing but you. They work for you. That's what they should be properly planned and written. So to write proper way, write in proper way, what you have to follow? You have to follow certain rules of resume building. So my dear friends, we will follow certain rules and will understand what are these details. So let's begin to the last session, that is. Look at this curriculum and resume. Curriculum vitae and resume. What is the difference between these two? So first, on the basis of content, we can see there is a difference between these two. Your resume is nothing but a short document. Resume is nothing but the short document which represents something about your skills, only highlight the key experiences and accomplishment that targeted the employer sake. So far as curriculum vitae, in short we call it CV. CV stresses the experiences and accomplishment throughout your whatever the achievement. Curriculum vitae is nothing but the one's accomplishment. For example, course of one's life, whatever your achievements that can be given here. So far as the length is considered, CVs are lengthy and this is somewhat short, precise, according to the expected expectations. It is prepared according to the job role and whatever the position is. Now so far as the topics are considered, you can include these many topics in CV but not in resume, because resume is short history of yours and CV is your course of your life, detailed summary of your life. Whatever you write about you, that is whatever your accomplishment, that is they may be related to a particular job or not, that you have to mention there in CV. Okay, so CV may have education, certification, licensures, work experiences, internship, professional experiences, honors, awards, organization, but all these details, whatever the second difference that we are going to have between CV and resume, that of topic, which topic we should include in CV and which topic should be there in the resume. Look at this. These many topics you can add in your CV, and that's what it becomes lengthy. And when you add relevant entries in resume, that becomes a short history. So whatever your job role is, or that whatever your job role is going to be, accordingly you have to pick up those required skills from your CV and have to write there in the resume. That's what it becomes, a job specific summary of your experiences. Okay, so next is length. As I already told you, the CV it depends on the person's achievements and accomplishment, but it is particularly of 3 to 5 pages, or it may extend up to the person's caliber. You see, those who have done so many papers, received so many awards, they may require a lot of pages for writing their achievements and awards. But so far as resume is considered, resume strictly should be of one page. Resume is nothing but one page summary of your accomplishment. Okay, so that is what, on the basis of length, we find a huge difference here. One page document about your experiences and all that, and your job role and etc., that is called resume, and more than one page, that stands is CV. Now goal tells your full professional story. CV tells your full professional story and tells a broad high level story. That is what the difference you can see here between CV and resume. And biodata is more personal document that can be prepared to tell your height, your details, your place, your other minute details which are important for a person to know. What is your complexion, what is your body type, that what is the color of your hair, how you look, all these things that are there in the biodata, but not included there in the curriculum vitae and resume, because all three documents, CV, resume and biodata, they target different audience, different kind of employer. Their purpose is something different. What is CV exactly? Let us understand with the help of this. Now CV, curriculum vitae, we call it curriculum vitae, in short we call it CV, is a Latin for course of one's life. Course of one's life, whatever the person has done during his life, that is being mentioned in short. And this word is in Latin, curriculum vitae, and due to which this is generally a borrowed word, and they are borrowed from Latin, and due to which the meaning of this curriculum vitae is something course of one's life. In Britain, the term curriculum vitae, abbreviated CV, is synonymous with resume. It looks like resume, but my dear friends, there is a difference between these two. These are different documents. Okay, they do not stand supplementary to each other, but sometimes company, depends on the organization to organization. Some organization expect the employees, prospective employees resume, because they don't want to go in detail of that employee. That's what they go for, resume. And those who look for every details of that prospective employee, that time they prefer CV. It depends on the organization. The difference between resume and CV, the primary difference is of length, second is of content, and third is of purpose. Okay, in the United States, curriculum vitae is used primarily when applying for international academic education, scientific or research positions, or when applying for fellowship or grants. That time, that is called curriculum vitae. Both CV and resume are about 1-2 pages, a summary of your skills and experiences. So whatever the difference that is given in this particular document, that is already discussed in our previous. Look at the resume format here. Your resume is of one page, and what are the basic details that you find on your resume? The first is your resume represents the heading. This is what we call is heading. The second important aspect or the point that is there in the resume is contact information. Third important element that we find in our resume is objective, that is also known as career objective. We are going to have thorough discussion on each of this, but you see the place of these. This is something, the place of title, this is the place of contact details, this is the place of career objective. Third, your educational summary. Educational summary is mentioned here. Okay, and then the experiences. If you are having experience of IT company or any other experiences, relevant experiences, your experiences can be mentioned here, and honors. My dear friends, let me tell you one thing here. Your experiences or whatever the format of your resumes, that may vary, and that you can go with any kind of format, but simply there should be a proper sequence among these bullets. Like your title should be in the top center of your page resume, and the next the contact information and your address and email address, etc. Then the career objective, educational qualification, then the experience and honors and rewards. Because honors and rewards at the last, because no one likes to highlight all those things in the beginning of the page. That's what it is better to write your honors and activities at the end of this page. That's what it is necessary to include all these things, but there should be a proper sequence. So did you understand the resume, how it is placed and what are the points that are given? We shall have thorough discussion on each point in next slides. So let us understand resume here. Now what is resume? Resume is a short, concise document that states relevant information regarding your education, skills, experiences, accomplishments and job related interests. What is the purpose of resume? Now, what is the main purpose of resume is? The purpose of resume is to provide summary of your skills, abilities, accomplishment. It is quick. It is a quick advertisement of your skills, what you are, that is represented to. It is a snapshot of your talent, intent, and capturing and emphasizing interest and secure you an interview. It is not an autobiography. You cannot mention whatever your accomplishments are. You cannot tell every details of yours there in the resume. This is only short, precise document. Since your resume is a primary tool in your job search, it's a primary tool in your job search. It needs to be carefully written and critiqued. Now, while writing it or building your resume, it should be properly written. We should not just copy and paste. What most of the students do, they do copy the whatever internet format is and they just pull up their details into that. That doesn't work, my dear friends. First, you have to do a research about the job profile. Then second, you have to pick up the skills. To pick up the skills from your CV means whatever your course of life is, whatever your accomplishments are, accordingly you have to pick up those skills which are required for a particular job position. Accordingly you have to place on that paper and that paper becomes your resume. So this is not something which you think is right. Okay, it needs to be critical, carefully written. Okay, because someone is going to understand you through the words, and that's what your words should stand by you, and that should be properly critiqued. Okay, next, resume building. How to build resume? It's a very tricky job. One has to put a lot of time on it and have to write, rewrite and make it final, because in one go we cannot write everything. In order to effectively convey your strength, you must do a self-assessment. What you have to do is you have to do a self-assessment. Begin with a list of your greatest accomplishment and personal qualities. Now begin or list down your greatest accomplishment which you want to highlight in your resume. Describe your skills and accomplishment with each employer by using action words. Now action words are important thing here. Those words can be included in. List only the skills that you would like to use on a new job. If you are writing a perfect resume, then use keywords. Now action words are those which are required for a particular job role. Those only you have to mention. Unnecessary, irrelevant action words that employer may not expect or employer may not require to have in that a candidate should not be mentioned. Now the keywords also be taken into account. We'll have a thorough understanding about keywords. Write a chronological history of your employment, training. What is that employment? Those who are freshers, this point may not be appropriate for the training, volunteer work and extracurricular activities. You have to write the chronological history. Chronology means right from the beginning, or it may have the order change, like in 2009 what you did, in 2010, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, accordingly whatever your period of experience and trainings and education, that you have to write in chronological way. Chronological, it means referring to the timeline and the year wise record of your accomplishment. Analyze the requirement of the new job you want to apply for. Now whatever the job description that you have to analyze first, and after analyzing accordingly you have to mention those things. While applying for any job you have to do some analysis research. Compare the skills required with your background and indicate how you have demonstrated these skills. Apply for those jobs where you have the close set fit and interest. If you are not suitable for a particular position, then you are applying, that doesn't make any sense. So to make a sense, you have to first analyze and position whatever the key roles, responsibilities required for a particular position. That should be words you choose. Words you choose. Now, to appear dynamic and capable in later or during an interview, you should properly select the words. Use of words that are specific and descriptive rather than the vague and general. We should go with the specific words, not the vague and general. The words and phrases chosen to describe yourself have an impact on your overall impression. They should not, represent something which you are not. Are you getting it? So wherever you try to write about you, you should be very choosy in picking up the words and selecting the words, because they are going to become action words. Now, what are the action words? We shall have discussion about these action words. Use action words to describe your skills. What you have to use is action words to describe your skills. Accomplishments. Avoid overuse of able to, can, know how to, I'm responsible for. You see, what you have to avoid is such word. I can do that, I can do that, this. You should not tell, you should not try to prove what you can, but try to write those words which are suitable to you. Know how to, responsible for. Example, hired, trained and supervised 6 employees. Versus a passive sentence, responsible for hiring, training and supervising employees. Now you see there are two parts here. One is, look at this, one part is quoted here. I will highlight in different color, like hired, trained and supervised 6 employees. You look at this part, and the second part you see here, responsible for hiring and supervising employees. Use the past tense when describing the past job duties or activities. So whichever is right here, this one stands good instead of this one, because when you are talking about past incident, past tense, then you have to write in past, hired, trained and supervised 6 employees. Responsible for hiring, that doesn't indicate that you have that skills. Use the past tense when describing the past duties or activities. Do not use words ending in ing. That's what the red one, the highlighted red one, action words doesn't work for you. That sounds somewhat odd. Ordered supplies. Ordered supplies maintain accurate technical record and file. Versus, you see, responsible for ordering and keeping the file. You see which one is correct? The ordering and supply, because you are talking about the past actions. So did you understand what is the difference here of using the action words that you want to talk about? If you have done something in your past, you want to highlight them there in the resume, that time you select only action words which indicates your actions. Now, personal descriptor. Now, what are the personal descriptor? With the help of this table, you can understand what are the personal descriptor. Use descriptive words that describe you. Be specific about what you worked and describe accomplishment by using number of other descriptive words. Give a clear picture. Look at this. If you want to talk about any one of these skills, you have to choose the right word here. Adaptable, efficient, observant, responsible. Adaptable, aggressive, assertive, astute. Efficient, if you want to talk about efficiency, then energetic, enthusiastic, flexible. These are the ways. If you want to talk about observant, optimistic, patient and perceptive. If you want to talk about responsible, you can write skilled, stable, strong. So these 3 words indicating the responsibility, these 3 words indicating you're observant like that, energetic and enthusiastic. This shows the efficiency of your being. So these are some of the words you have to make use of. Okay, these are nothing but the personal description. So this aggression, this is shown aggression, assertiveness and astute. Okay, depending on your way of personality, accordingly you can go for the descriptor. Qualitative words and phrases. Now what are the quality showing words? Look at this consistency, consistently, effective, experienced, extensive, familiarity with, and significantly, successfully, varied background, wide scope, in-depth knowledge. Qualitative word and phrases. You look at this qualitative, successfully, varied background, wide scope, in-depth knowledge. They all show the quality of your effectiveness, experience, intensive familiarity. All these things are nothing but that indicates your quality. These are the phrases we can use, you can choose for describing your quality. How does one organize resume? The entire resume must be targeted to a specific job objective. Very first thing, arrange resume to highlight your strongest or most effective skills. For example, if you have just graduated from college, your education, classwork and internship experiences are most important and should be placed at the beginning. If you have an extensive work history, which is the highlight of your resume, the education section would go near to the next to a resume. Let us know resume content for categories that may be used in the content of a resume and description of each of these categories. Now what are the don'ts of resume writing, resume building? What you have to avoid while writing resume? Organize resume so it is easy to follow. Margin space should be appropriately taken, inches, 1 inch around the edges. That should not be something wordy. There should be a proper margin. Look at this here, you can find the margin area is here. So that gives a text a reader friendly view. Okay, so write short sentences, do not write very complex sentences. Distinguish categories clearly with the headings that are bold, underlined and capitalized. They stand for different context. If you write in capitalized, it means that capitalized means the word which is not important, that is loudly spoken. Sometimes we make it capital, okay, but in resume writing you should write capital only when you think that is something heading or title. That time you can go for it. Okay, underline those which are important words. Use bullets, underline and capitalizing sparingly to guide the reader to detail within a category. Okay, what you have to do is you have to make use of underline necessary possible. Okay, next is place keywords or the main points of each statement at the beginning of each line. Leave the space between lines to enhance the readability. Don't skip resume to one page strictly. If possible, having 2 pages is acceptable. If you are experienced candidate, then 2 pages can be accepted, but for freshers 1 page is sufficient. Use whatever space is needed to relate information to potential employer. Resume should be long enough to convey your qualifications and experience, but not wordy. If you are not able to concentrate on information into 1 page, make sure the information on the 2nd page has sufficient content. Sometimes what happens, only 2-3 lines are taken on 2nd page. So do not do that. If the content is of a 2 page, then only you move on to the next page, or strictly stay connected to the page, single page only. It is important to share your resume with someone who can provide objective feedback. You can go with the trainers. You can, once you prepare your resume, you can show it to me or some trainers from our college so that they can correct your resume accordingly and can give you the feedback on it, because one should take the feedback on it, what is written and how. Now, what are the points that should be included in your resume content? Look at this, my dear students. Now, these are the content, resume content. Whichever is most important that you think for a particular job profile, accordingly you have to pick up all these headings from your. Now, heading should be there for the resume. Then the objective, job objective. How to write job objective? It requires a separate lecture for it, because writing job objective or career objective, it's not that just copying and paste. Someone might have written for his own objective, but what you do is you generally copy his content and write it in your resume. So that is something going to risk, that is going to be very not good for your personality. So do not copy whatever the objectives are. Educational details, employment, work history, work experiences, military or voluntary positions. If you have any other positions that you have licenses, if you have any licenses that you can talk about, your certification, your programs, your any other achievements that you have done. Then awards, skills you have possessed, then the hobbies and interests. All these points should be there on the resume content. Okay, so there are different types of resume: chronological resume, functional resume, and combination of both. As I already told, is chronological resume is nothing but the chronology. It means it indicates the chronology, like whatever your resume is, whatever your work experiences are, those work experiences should be mentioned as per the timeline, right from your graduation to up till this point. Whatever your happenings are, your experiences are, that is what we call is chronological resume, referring to the timeline, referring to the year-wise achievement. Year-wise means whatever you have done in 2013, 14, 15, 16, that record is mentioned or put on resume. That is called chronological, because the year-wise record is necessary in chronological resume. While functional resume, your year-wise record is not that mandatory, but whatever your roles and responsibilities you carried out up till now, sometimes it is expected to have chronological resume and sometimes it is expected to have functional resume. Your roles and responsibilities you carried out, these are important for functional resume. Now next next type of is that the combination of both chronological and functional resume, and that is what we call chrono-functional resume. Chrono-functional resume is nothing but the combination of both. You mention both the things, like year-wise record of your achievement and functions, the roles and responsibilities you carried out. So these are the types of resume. You can go with any sort of type, but whatever you are writing down should be appropriate and should be error-free, as already discussed. So my dear friends, thanks for watching this video. I hope you will learn, you might have learned something out of it, and try to think about, you will think twice, thrice before you make your resume final. Okay, I hope this is sufficient for this particular workshop. If you want to go for detailed resume formats and samples, I'm gonna give you the samples individually. I will send you the sample of resume on your email address, because your email address have been collected, so that sample formats will be sent to your email address, and whatever the study material is, that can be sent to your contact number or WhatsApp number or maybe other details, okay, or your email address. So thanks for watching, and whatever day's workshop was that on, let's say, English for job aspirants, at that workshop definitely help you to think about the preparation of the companies, IT companies, and what is the role of English in the placement test, and what are the different preparation required for the getting placed in the company. So what I was trying to tell you is, during this, through these 4 sessions, the session first was about placement process, and the role of English in that. Second session was a verbal ability test. It means English grammar usages and how to avoid the errors and spot the errors and what kind of questions will be asked in that. That was the second session. Second video was on that. Third session was on your HR interview question, how to answer the questions in interview, what kind of questions are there, how to crack the interview, how to present ourselves in interview, what is observed there in the interview, why interviews are conducted. That was the third session. And the last session is of resume building, resume writing, the difference between resume and CV, and sample format. Of course, I will share with you the simple format of the resume. Hope you have understood every details. So thanks for sparing your valuable time here, and hope you will work on whatever the points I have highlighted during this workshop. And thanks all of you for watching this video. So once again, I, with the permission of Chairperson Honorable Dr. M.R. Patil sir, and the Principal of our college, Dr. N.H. Zulfe sir, Coordinator Mr. I.M. Kaji sir, Mr. D.R. Somunshi sir, I thank all of them, and with their permission, I declare this workshop is over, and I will share with you the feedback form of this workshop. Please do write your comments in that feedback form. Whatever the feedback form is available, that I will share with you the link on our Telegram channel. So please give your feedback on it, and if possible, we shall have thorough training sessions during our training programs. Okay, so with this, we will also give you the test based on whatever the workshop content was. So test link will also be sent, and those who clear the test, they will be given certificates. Okay, so that's it for today, and hope you have enjoyed the 4 sessions. Now, thanks a lot.